In the world of music, the show must always go on. But sometimes, a final curtain call comes with no warning. The history of rock, country, and pop is filled with stories of incredible talent. But tragically, some of those stories ended not on a stage, but in the sky. The private planes and helicopters that promised to get them from one show to the next became the final destinations for some of music's biggest legends. We're talking about artists whose music shaped generations, whose lives were cut short in moments that shocked the world. Number 1. Glenn Miller. Glenn Miller was a celebrated American big band leader, composer, and trombonist during the swing era, known for creating a distinct sound for his orchestra on a string of hit songs, including his most famous, In the Mood. Miller died on December 15, 1944, when the military plane he was a passenger on disappeared over the English Channel, while en route to entertain troops in Paris during World War II. The cause was presumed to be mechanical failure and bad weather. His death was a shock to fans and the public, leading to numerous conspiracy theories and a lasting legacy as a cultural icon. Number 2. Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly was an American singer, songwriter, and a pioneering figure in rock and roll. He is famous for his unique blend of rock and roll, country, and rhythm and blues, as well as for popularizing the classic rock band lineup of two guitars, bass, and drums. One of Holly's most famous songs is Peggy Sue.
Oh, my heart yearns for you, oh Peggy, my Peggy Sue.
Buddy Holly died on February 3, 1959, in a plane crash near Clear Lake, Iowa. The tragedy also claimed the lives of fellow musicians Ritchie Valens and J.P. the Big Bopper Richardson, along with the pilot. The crash was attributed to a combination of poor weather conditions and pilot error. The event, immortalized by Don McLean's song American Pie, as the day the music died, sent shockwaves through the music world. Number 3. Ritchie Valens. Ritchie Valens was a pioneering Mexican-American rock and roll singer, songwriter, and guitarist. His most famous song, La Bamba, a rock and roll arrangement of a traditional Mexican folk song, which was the first Spanish-language song to enter the Billboard Hot 100. Valens died on February 3, 1959, in a plane crash near Clear Lake, Iowa. He was on a concert tour with Buddy Holly and J.P. the Big Bopper Richardson. The musicians had chartered a small plane to travel to their next performance, as their tour bus was experiencing mechanical problems. Valens, who had a fear of flying, had won his seat on the plane in a coin toss. The plane crashed shortly after takeoff, killing all on board. Number 4. J.P. the Big Bopper Richardson. J.P. Richardson, better known as the Big Bopper, was a famous American rock and roll singer, songwriter, and disc jockey. He is known for his exuberant personality and for pioneering the use of music videos. His most famous song, Chantilly Lace, was a novelty song that became a major hit in 1958.
Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down.
The Big Bopper died on February 3, 1959, in a plane crash near Clear Lake, Iowa. He was on tour with Buddy Holly and Ritchie Valens. He was suffering from the flu and traded his bus seat for a spot on the chartered plane with Buddy Holly's band member, Waylon Jennings. The small plane crashed shortly after takeoff, killing all the musicians and the pilot. Number 5. Patsy Cline. Patsy Cline was an American country music singer famous for her emotional, expressive contralto voice and for helping to pioneer the Nashville sound, which blended country with pop music. She was a trailblazer for female artists in a male-dominated industry, becoming the first solo woman elected to the Country Music Hall of Fame. One of Patsy Cline's most beloved songs is Walking After Midnight.
I'm always walking after midnight, searching for you.
Patsy Cline died on March 5, 1963, in a plane crash near Camden, Tennessee. She was flying back to Nashville after a benefit concert with fellow country stars Cowboy Copas, Hawkshaw Hawkins, and Randy Hughes. The crash, attributed to the non-instrument-rated pilot flying in adverse weather conditions, which caused disorientation and loss of control. The crash was a shocking blow to the music world, and many fans were devastated by the loss of one of country music's greatest voices. Number 6. Lloyd Cowboy Copas. Lloyd Cowboy Copas was an American country music singer who was a popular fixture on the Grand Ole Opry from the 1940s until his death. He was known for his smooth country crooner style. His biggest hit was the 1960 song Alabama, which spent 3 months at number 1 on the country charts.
On the way, I'm going back to Alabama.
Cowboy Copas died on March 5, 1963, in a plane crash near Camden, Tennessee. He was flying back from a benefit concert with fellow country stars Patsy, Cline, Randy Hughes, and Hawkshaw Hawkins. The plane, piloted by Copas's son-in-law, Randy Hughes, crashed in severe weather due to pilot error. Number 7. Hawkshaw Hawkins. Harold Franklin Hawkshaw Hawkins was a famous American country music singer known for his smooth, rich vocals and imposing stage presence. He was a popular member of the Grand Ole Opry and a successful artist from the 1950s into the 1960s. His final and most famous song was Lonesome 77203, which was released just 3 days before his death and went on to become his only number 1 hit.
Just call Lonesome 77203.
Hawkins died on March 5, 1963, in a plane crash near Camden, Tennessee. He was flying back from a benefit concert with fellow country music stars Patsy, Cline, and Cowboy Copas, as well as their pilot, Randy Hughes. The plane crashed in adverse weather conditions. Number 8. Randy Hughes. Randy Hughes was a private pilot and the manager for country music star Patsy, Cline. Hughes was the son-in-law of singer Cowboy Copas. He is known primarily tied to these relationships. However, Hughes was a country artist, releasing several popular singles including Tattooed Lady.
On her leg was Minnesota, on her shoulder Tennessee.
Randy Hughes died on March 5, 1963, in a plane crash near Camden, Tennessee. He was piloting the plane that was carrying Patsy, Cline, Cowboy Copas, and Hawkshaw Hawkins back to Nashville from a benefit concert. The crash was caused by Hughes flying in poor weather conditions, leading to spatial disorientation and loss of control. Number 9. Jim Reeves. Jim Reeves was an American country music singer, famous for his smooth, mellow baritone voice and his sophisticated Nashville sound. He was known as Gentleman Jim and was one of country music's first international stars. His biggest song, He'll Have to Go, was a crossover hit that topped the country charts and reached number 2 on the pop charts in 1960.
Should I hang up, or will you tell him he'll have to go?
Jim Reeves died on July 31, 1964, when the single-engine Beechcraft Debonair plane that he was piloting crashed in a thunderstorm near Brentwood, Tennessee. The cause of the crash was believed to be pilot disorientation and loss of control while flying in a storm. Number 10. Otis Redding. Otis Redding was an influential American soul singer and songwriter, often called the King of Soul. He was a major figure in the Stax Records movement and had a significant influence on a wide range of artists, including the Rolling Stones and Aretha Franklin. His most famous song, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, solidifying his enduring legacy.
Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
Otis Redding died on December 10, 1967, when the private plane he was on crashed into Lake Monona in Madison, Wisconsin. The crash killed Redding, his pilot, and 5 of the 6 members of the Barkays. Trumpet player Ben Cawley was the lone survivor of the crash. The cause of the crash is believed a combination of bad weather and mechanical failure. Otis Redding's death, at age 26, was a tremendous shock to the music world. Number 11. Jim Croce. Jim Croce was a famous American folk and rock singer-songwriter known for his storytelling lyrics and mellow acoustic style. He became a major star in the early 1970s with his hit singles. His biggest and most famous songs include Bad Bad Leroy Brown, which was his only #1 hit during his lifetime.
Bad Leroy Brown, the baddest band in the whole damn town.
Croce died on September 20th, 1973, in a plane crash near Natchitoches, Louisiana. The small chartered plane he was on with his guitarist Maury Muleson and 4 others crashed shortly after takeoff, hitting a tree at the end of the runway. The news of his death was a tragedy for his fans, coming at the height of his career. Number 12. Ronnie Van Zant. Ronnie Van Zant was the lead vocalist, primary lyricist, and a founding member of the legendary southern rock band Lynyrd Skynyrd. He is famous for his powerful, soulful voice and for being the creative force behind the band's most iconic songs. One of his most famous songs is Sweet Home Alabama, which became an enduring rock anthem. Van Zant died on October 20th, 1977, when the chartered plane carrying the band ran out of fuel and crashed in a wooded area near Gillsburg, Mississippi. The crash also killed 2 other band members and 3 crew members. The unexpected tragedy shocked the music world, coming just 3 days after the release of the band's album Street Survivors. The devastating loss of the band's frontman and key members left fans reeling and brought the original incarnation of Lynyrd Skynyrd to an abrupt end. Number 13. Steve Gaines. Steve Gaines was a talented American guitarist and vocalist who gained fame as a member of the southern rock band Lynyrd Skynyrd. He joined the band in 1976 and was featured on their final studio album, Street Survivors. He co-wrote and shared lead vocals with Ronnie Van Zant on the hit song, You Got That Right.
I like to drink and dance all night.
Steve Gaines died on October 20th, 1977, when the band's chartered plane ran out of fuel and crashed in a wooded area near Gillsburg, Mississippi. The crash also killed his older sister bandmate, Cassie Gaines, and lead vocalist Ronnie Van Zant. Number 14. Cassie Gaines. Cassie Gaines was an American singer and one of the backing vocalists for the southern rock band Lynyrd Skynyrd, known as the Honkettes. She is most known for providing backing vocals for the band, particularly on tracks like That Smell.
One more drink would drown you. Ooh, that smell.
Cassie Gaines died on October 20th, 1977, when the band's chartered plane crashed near Gillsburg, Mississippi. Number 15. Randy Rhoads. Randy Rhoads was a highly influential American guitarist, famous for his work with Ozzy Osbourne. He is credited with pioneering the neo-classical metal subgenre by blending classical music techniques with heavy metal. His virtuosic and melodic guitar solos and riffs earned him a reputation as one of the greatest guitarists in rock history. His most famous song is Crazy Train, which he co-wrote with Ozzy Osbourne. Rhoads died on March 19, 1982, in a plane crash in Leesburg, Florida. The plane, a small Beechcraft Bonanza, was being piloted by the band's bus driver, Andrew Aycock, who had taken it for a joyride.
The plane had been flying treetop level roughly 3 times. The 4th pass, he tipped the bus on the opposite side, and then it went over the top of the bus, the plane did, and hit a pine tree in the front yard, and after it hit the pine tree, it nosedived.
The crash killed Rhoads, Aycock, and the makeup artist, Rachel Youngblood. Number 16. Ricky Nelson. Ricky Nelson was a famous American singer, actor, and teen idol who rose to fame as a child star on the television show The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. He successfully transitioned to a music career, becoming one of rock and roll's earliest stars with a smooth rockabilly sound. He is famous for pioneering the use of music videos on his family show. His biggest hit, Poor Little Fool, was the first song to ever top the newly created Billboard Hot 100 chart in 1958.
Kiss me, but her heart was full of lies, poor little fool. Oh yeah.
Nelson died on December 31st, 1985, in a plane crash near DeKalb, Texas. The vintage plane, a Douglas DC-3, caught fire in the cabin, And although the pilots were able to make an emergency landing, 7 of the 9 people on board, including Nelson, were killed in the resulting fire. An investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board (NTSB) concluded that a faulty cabin heater was the probable cause of the fire. For fans who grew up with him on television, his passing was particularly tragic, as he was a beloved figure whose life and career were cut short. Number 17. Dean Paul Martin. Dean Paul Martin Jr. was famous as a singer and member of the U.S. Air National Guard. He was the son of Rat Pack member Dean Martin, and, along with Desi Arnaz Jr. and Billy Hinch, formed the 1960s pop group Dino, Desi and Billy. Their biggest hit was the song, I'm a Fool, which reached number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1965. Later, Martin pursued a career in tennis and acting before he became a fighter pilot in the U.S. Air National Guard.
I'm sitting at home all alone.
Dean Paul Martin died on March 21, 1987, in a plane crash in the San Bernardino Mountains of California. He was a captain in the California Air National Guard and was flying an F-4C Phantom jet during a routine training mission when the plane went down in bad weather. His death was a shock to Hollywood and the music world, and his famous father, Dean Martin, was devastated by the loss. Number 18. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray Vaughan was a legendary American blues rock guitarist, singer, and songwriter. Stevie Ray Vaughan is famous for his virtuosic guitar playing, which blended blues, rock, and jazz influences with an intense, soulful style. Vaughan is widely considered one of the greatest pure Texas blues rock guitarists of all time. He was a key figure in the blues revival of the 1980s. His most famous songs include Pride and Joy. Vaughan died on August 27, 1990, in a helicopter crash near East Troy, Wisconsin. He had just finished a show with Eric Clapton, Buddy Guy, and other blues legends. Due to thick fog and low visibility, the helicopter he was in crashed into a ski hill shortly after takeoff, killing Vaughan, the pilot, and 3 members of Eric Clapton's crew. His death was particularly tragic as it came on the heels of his personal recovery from addiction, and his legacy continues to be one of immense influence. Number 19. Bill Graham. Bill Graham was one of the most famous and influential rock and roll concert promoters in history. He is famous for launching the careers of artists like the Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane, Santana, and Janis Joplin, as well as for establishing iconic music venues like the Fillmore Auditorium in San Francisco. Graham was a major figure in the counterculture movement of the 1960s, and his company, Bill Graham Presents, produced a countless number of shows and massive benefit concerts, including the American Live Aid concert in 1985. Graham died on October 25, 1991, in a helicopter crash. The helicopter, which was carrying Graham, his girlfriend Melissa Gold, and pilot Steve Kahn, crashed into a high-voltage transmission tower west of Vallejo, California, in gusty winds and heavy rain. The NTSB determined the cause to be the pilot's decision to fly in adverse weather conditions. Graham's death was a major shock to the music community. The Grateful Dead, who were close to Graham, played a massive free memorial concert called Laughter, Love, and Music that was held in Golden Gate Park, which drew an estimated 300,000 people and featured performances by many of the artists he helped throughout his career. Number 20. John Denver. John Denver was an American singer-songwriter, actor, and activist who became one of the most popular and best-selling artists of the 1970s. He is famous for his wholesome, folk pop music that celebrated nature, simple living, and love. His biggest and most famous song is widely considered to be Take Me Home, Country Roads, which became an international anthem.
Country roads, say, take me home to the place.
John Denver died on October 12, 1997, when the experimental plane he was piloting crashed into Monterey Bay, California. The single-engine plane, a Rutan Long Easy, went down after he lost control while attempting to switch fuel tanks. An investigation found that the fuel selector handle was located in an inaccessible position behind the pilot, contributing to the crash. Number 21. Aaliyah. Aaliyah Dana Houghton, known mononymously as Aaliyah, was an American singer, actress, and model. She is famous for her unique, silky smooth vocals and her innovative sound, which blended R&B, pop, and hip-hop. Her most famous song is Try Again, which made history by being the first song to reach number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 based solely on airplay. Aaliyah died on August 25, 2001, in a plane crash in the Bahamas. She and her film crew were flying back to the United States after filming the music video for her song Rock the Boat. The Cessna 402B aircraft was severely overloaded and was carrying too many passengers and too much luggage. The pilot was also found to have traces of cocaine and alcohol in his system. Shortly after takeoff, the plane crashed, killing Aaliyah, the pilot, and all 7 other passengers on board. The news of her passing came just as she was reaching the pinnacle of her career, with her album Aaliyah having been released just a month prior. Number 22. Melanie Thornton. Melanie Thornton was a famous American pop and dance music singer, best known as the lead vocalist for the hugely successful Eurodance duo La Bouche. La Bouche's most famous songs include Be My Lover. Melanie Thornton died on November 24, 2001, in a plane crash near Bassersdorf, Switzerland. She was on a promotional tour for her new album, Ready to Fly. The Crossair Flight 3597, on which she was a passenger, crashed into a wooded hillside as it attempted to land in a heavy snowstorm. The crash killed 24 people, including Thornton and 2 band members. Number 23. Jenny Rivera. Jenny Rivera was a Mexican-American singer, songwriter, and actress who became a superstar in the regional Mexican music genre, specifically in banda, mariachi, and norteño styles. Rivera was famous for her powerful voice and her songs that often spoke to themes of female empowerment, infidelity, and heartbreak. Her most famous song is often cited as No Liga El Olvido.
Parece que viene en burro, que olvido tan desgraciado.
Rivera died on December 9, 2012, when the private Learjet she was on crashed minutes after taking off from Monterrey, Mexico. The plane, which was over 40 years old, was found to have been flying with a crew that had a number of irregularities, including an unqualified pilot. All 7 people on board, including Rivera and her entourage, were killed. Number 24. Troy Gentry. Troy Gentry was an American country music singer, famous as one half of the popular country duo Montgomery Gentry. Alongside his musical partner Eddie Montgomery, he was known for a hard-hitting, rocking country sound and a string of hits that celebrated a working-class lifestyle. Their most famous songs include Something to Be Proud of. Troy Gentry died on September 8, 2017, in a helicopter crash in Medford, New Jersey. The helicopter experienced mechanical failure in the engine, forcing the pilot to attempt an emergency landing. The helicopter crashed into a wooded area near the airport, killing Gentry and the pilot. His death was a major shock to the country music community and a devastating blow to his partner, Eddie Montgomery, and their fans. Number 25. Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was one of the most famous and dominant professional basketball players in history. He spent his entire 20-year career with the Los Angeles Lakers, winning 5 NBA championships and earning the nickname Black Mamba for his intense competitive drive. While he was a superstar athlete, Bryant also had a brief musical career in the 1990s. His most famous song was the single, Kobe, featuring Tyra Banks.
What I live for? Basketball, beats and brawls, from Italy to the US. Yes, it's raw. I'm in search for the one to make.
Kobe Bryant died on January 26, 2020, in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California. He, along with his 13-year-old daughter Gianna and 7 other people, was flying to a youth basketball game. The helicopter crashed in thick fog. An investigation by the NTSB determined that the pilot's decision to fly in the difficult weather conditions led to spatial disorientation and the loss of control of the aircraft. The news of his death sent shockwaves across the globe, transcending the world of sports. Number 26. Marília Mendonça. Marília Mendonça was a Brazilian singer-songwriter and one of the most beloved and influential artists in the sertanejo music genre. Known as the Queen of Sofrência, she was famous for her powerful voice and for her deeply emotional and empowering songs, many of which spoke directly to the experiences of women. Her most famous song is widely considered to be Infiel, which was a massive international career-making hit in 2016.
Hoje não tem hora de ir embora. Hoje ele vai ficar.
Marília Mendonça died on November 5, 2021, in a plane crash in Caratinga, Brazil. The small air taxi she was traveling in crashed into a waterfall, killing all 5 people on board. Her death at the age of 26 was a tremendous shock to fans across Brazil and around the world. Number 27. Brett James. Brett James, a Grammy Award-winning country songwriter, was known for penning more than 300 songs for major labels. His most famous song is Jesus, Take the Wheel, which he co-wrote and which won a Grammy for Best Country Song for Carrie Underwood in 2007.
From now on tonight, Jesus, take the wheel.
Brett James died on Thursday, September 18, 2025, in a single-engine plane crash. The plane, a Cirrus SR-22T registered in his name, crashed in a field in Franklin, North Carolina, after departing from Nashville's John C. Toon Airport. In reaction to his death, numerous artists, including Carrie Underwood, Jason Aldean, and Dierks Bentley, paid tribute to James's legacy. The list of musicians lost in the skies is a heartbreaking reminder of just how fragile life can be, even for those who seem larger than life. What are your thoughts on the musicians lost to aviation disasters? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Please like and subscribe for more exciting features on your favorite artists. And you can watch this additional informative video from What's the Story right now.